Hello, everybody, and welcome to Google Plus Business Spotlight. This show is about showing you how different businesses use Google Plus. That's the whole point. And my name is Stepan Hovnanian. I own the Google Plus for Small Business community here, and it's kind of this quick little housekeeping thing. This is it's a community-driven event. So if you join the Google Plus for Small Business community and you have a great story to tell and would like to share it with with us, how your business is using Google Plus successfully, things that are working for you, things that aren't working for you, I'd love to hear about it. We have a category called Success Stories. So drop it in there, and hopefully we'll be able to interact with each other, celebrate the successes, talk about the challenges, and if it makes sense to bring you on and showcase it, here on the show, we'll do that. But in the meantime, go check out the community, please. And the other thing too that I'd like to mention before I introduce my first guest, and I'm really excited about having her on. She's got a lot to tell us. Is that we have a more expanded version of what we're going to talk about today on my blog, which is linked to in the event page. So everything's all kind of interconnected. You probably would expect that from me at this point. But so go check that out, and that has this video as well as a replay, but also a live stream and a more expanded version of our story here today and the business we're spotlighting. So we'll talk about things in there, but if you want to get more information, go check it out. Great. Housekeeping's over, and I would love to introduce my first guest, Bethan Davies of the CraftStar.com. Bethan's site is it's an online, it's a boutique, right? Basically.
It's a unique boutique of small businesses, an e-commerce site. Yes.
I love it. Now, the CraftStar caught my attention, at least, because you guys are doing something really, really unique. Actually, you're doing a few really unique things with HOAs, with Hangouts on Air, and I think that was, for a small company, getting that innovative. I think it's definitely worth spotlighting. So why don't I'll turn the floor over to you a little. Just tell us a little about what you're doing with the two types of HOAs that you're doing.
Okay. We are a relatively new site. We have made it past our first birthday. Thank you very much. A lot of hard work, as any entrepreneur knows. We have a very, very dominant competitor in our landscape. And I knew that if we wanted to stand out, we needed to do something different. So we built the CraftStar, which is a small business in itself, which houses over 2,500 small businesses at the moment. And I knew if we wanted to stand out from our competitors, we had to do something different. My background is production. I've been in TV and radio production for over 25 years. So I knew I wanted to bring in a production element into the new site, the CraftStar, before we built it. But I also wanted to build it around a community, which is missing from our competitors, because we're a small business, we're housing small businesses. The whole theory, it takes a village to raise a child, I applied to building the CraftStar. If we're all singing from the same hymn sheet, we are becoming a powerful voice. Instead of competing against each other, supporting each other, and going out there and promoting with the same voice is a very powerful tool. So for the Hangouts, we started doing them via live stream, and then transferred over to Google Plus about 6-9 months ago. So I had inadvertently been using Google Plus for quite a while, and I did not know about this magical fairyland of Google Plus until about 2 months ago. I had read somewhere that for small businesses you need to get involved with Google Plus, and I'm not exaggerating when I say I read that on a Saturday morning and didn't go to bed till Sunday night. I mean, it was just like going through Alice's magic hole, rabbit hole. It's just so full of amazing information, amazing people, really giving people, and really forgiving people. So what I really liked was we were complete newbies. I'm not a tech person, and yet I was asking questions to people like you who were answering me respectfully and not dismissively. And that in social media is so valuable to new people. It's such an encouraging environment that we're trying, and we'll talk about in a second, trying to get all our small businesses engaged in Google+. So what we're doing with our Hangouts, our live events, one of the reasons I was so dedicated to live events is I did a consultancy for the Home Shopping Network, and learned a lot of things through that consultancy. And one of the basic things, which anybody can figure out, is moving pictures sell. Advertising is a multi-billion-dollar business a year. So I wanted to take a one-dimensional website like we have on the CraftStar and take those images and make them move, and also make the artists a part of the story. We sell handmade items, we sell vintage items, and we sell crafting supplies. So I consider them all creative or curative, whether they're created by making them by hand or curated in a vintage shop. They're all a creative business, so they all have a story, and I wanted those stories told. I think buying from somebody who can explain the process of making it or their passion in it makes an image come alive from just seeing it from a one-dimensional website. So we use the HOAs in 3 different ways currently. We use them on Monday nights. Every Monday night we do a very casual, what we call a hangout, where it's a proliferation of information, what updates are coming up on site. We spotlight our weekly artist of the week. We just use it kind of as a giggle and a catch-up, and just to let people know that we're approachable, that I'm the CEO and I'm one of you. I am a crafter. I am a small business. And I think that has really helped cement our community. We started live sales where we give small businesses 1 hour a week at the moment, so 4 small businesses, 15 minutes each on Wednesday nights. And we started that about 7 weeks ago now. Our traffic has gone up 30% along with our sales since we started that. I mean, that
Awesome.
is a huge, huge curve. I knew I wanted to do this before we even started the CraftStar, and it's proven to be something that works. We're doing that currently. We've done quite a lot of those recently because it's our season and the holidays.
Sure.
We're trying to sell things. And we will be expanding on those immensely in the new year. We've got big plans and going to be really widening those out. And then the third way we do is educational. As you know, you have been a guest on it. Trying to teach small businesses areas of social media that perhaps they're not familiar with, Google Plus being one of them, how to manage their time. We recommend a 70-30 split in our small businesses. 70% is creative or curative, 30% is your business side. You cannot go on to an e-commerce site, just post your items and run and expect them to sell. You've got to put the legwork in. We are one of the only sites, I think the only site in our arena that has a promotional team. So we do spend a lot of time doing promotions for our artists, for the items, for the shops. But they also need to do the legwork as well. People aren't going to find items without it being out there in Google land. And why we advocate Google Plus so much is, as we've discussed, it's basically cutting out the middleman. If you're selling something, you know, being on Google Plus, making a post, being on YouTube, you're getting much better chance of getting a Google result.
Yeah, you're casting a wider net, as they say. You know, it's interesting. You've brought up a bunch of really interesting parallels between your business and how you've structured it with and Google Plus in terms of like the community and how there's there's sort of this collaborative effort. And first off, congratulations, because there's a lot of really cool things that you've just kind of highlighted as far as Google Plus goes even, but it's really cool that from a transparency standpoint, like they just roll right up onto your business. So that's totally awesome. I hope Google's listening, because hey, here's like somebody that's doing what you're doing in a totally different capacity, and it's working for them. So hey, great job. But you know, you mentioned going back to the idea of community and collaborating and whatnot. I'd love for you to just give us a couple of I guess a couple of tips. You know, there's some great stuff too already you've said about about the split between your your information and others, but also how, like for example, you have your page, the craftstar.com is your brand page, but there's also the Bethan Davies page, and I know that since you guys are sort of working as a group, as a larger voice, you know, there's also the pages and the people behind your shop owners basically. So now, I mean, how do you in a situation, is take it to another business, you have somebody who has a group of people that are associated with the business, and so you have your teammates as well, your staff members, whatever, and then your brand page. So I mean, how do you coordinate it? Do you coordinate it? Do you talk about different ways to to share information, or what? I don't know. Talk to us how you do it, because everybody has different ways and stuff works better for others and whatnot. But I'd love to hear from, how does the CraftStar do it with its tribe, I guess you could say, of people.
Okay. We're a seasonal business. So right now what we're doing would be a lot different than what we were doing if we were on Google Plus 3 months ago. With the holidays coming up, we are promoting. And that will change again after the holidays. We will be more back to sharing more than we are pimping. What I was really concerned about is that the Google Plus arena is very much about sharing. It's very much about educating. It's very much about appreciating. I did not want to just turn the CraftStar into a pimping page, that it was just promoting, listing. But we did need to do that. We needed to use that platform because it is such a great platform for Google to get those items out there. So I ripped off an idea that you may remember from the 90s, MTV's pop-up videos. Do you remember those?
I do.
They just
sadly.
Sadly, they were genius. They were absolutely hilarious. So they were a video of Celine Dion's latest song, and popping up would come up the most random facts, but somehow associated with what she was singing about, or the album title, or whatever. But they were so clever because you couldn't wait to see what was coming up next. So I thought, what if we applied that to the items that we're promoting, so that instead of just bang, 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 keep buying, how about we attach a bit of information so that hopefully people will be looking out for these posts, that there's an element of humor to them, there's an element of education to them, there's an element of history to them. So we wanted to do something different that wasn't just sale. And I hope that we've kind of found that balance.
Well, it's storytelling, right? I mean, you're telling stories, which today everybody who talks about content marketing, at least, and really the way to be successful in marketing going forward is to tell your story and be unique, and don't just rehash the same stuff that everybody else is rehashing. So, I mean, it's a great idea. Do you guys use a hashtag, like a special hashtag for your pop-up stories?
Yes, we do. And this time of year, we use 3 specific hashtags on everything we do: support small business, unique gifts, and the CraftStar. That's cool. Consistent. And then for all of our live shows is TCS live sales. So yeah, we have 2 people working the Google Plus pages. Rhonda is very active on the brand page, the craftstar.com page. And then for my own page, I haven't spent the time on it. I have to admit, in the last couple of weeks, that I was spending on it, sharing the kind of stuff that comes out from you and Ben and Dustin and Martin and all these amazing people out there, because I've just been so focused on trying to drum up sales, trying to get attention to the site. What we just discussed, and I think it's a great idea, Google Plus for newcomers, and we are a newcomer, we've only been at this for a couple months, can be very overwhelming. You guys are pumping out so much valuable information that it's hard to know where to start when you've got a full-time job. I'm working 18 hours a day as it is as an entrepreneur, but I need to learn what you guys are telling me, but how do I fit that into my day? So I think it's a bit intimidating for newcomers coming in, because it's just like, whoa, there's all this stuff I need to absorb, but how do I find the time to do that? So we're talking, and I think came up with 2 solutions that are really going to help our small businesses. Is that I'm going to start a daily blast to our businesses, curating what you guys have already spread out. So stuff that's going to really help them on a level that they understand, because a lot of you guys talk also in a world that, we discussed this before, talk to me in Barbie. I will get it if you talk to me in Barbie. So some of the too techie stuff will turn off our users. And I don't want that because there's so much benefit they can get from what you guys are sharing. The other thing is that we keep sharing within Google Plus, but actually the people we want to get to, our small businesses, are the ones that haven't drunk the Kool-Aid yet. You can see, as you said, you can see the CraftStar users that have jumped on board. The tribe is building, but I need to get beyond those people and beyond the Google Plus walls, and you've just shown me how to do that, so thank you very much, and I will start focusing on that to bring in more and more people from outside into Google Plus and,
Awesome.
and build it so it's palatable to them and not overwhelming.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, and that's actually what this show is all about. So you've summed it up perfectly. And the whole idea is to give people little things that they can walk away with. And I think Bethan, you've been so fantastic and given us so much great insights on things like collaborating together and community building. I love the idea of the pop-up video with, and since you're using it with a hashtag, that means that people will start to become. You could actually just click on that hashtag and see all of the different ones together. So make sure you're continuing to promote that. But yeah, just for the last point that she made up, for anybody who doesn't know how to do this, any public post on Google Plus is its own web page essentially. So you can do whatever you want with it. You can email it to somebody, you can post it up on Facebook or tweet it or even pin it on Pinterest. So one thing to get to that unique web page, if you're in Google Plus, just click on the timestamp. So it'll say, what time the thing was shared. Just click on that, and it'll load up its own page. Usually the person who made the post is up on the left-hand side, and then the entire post is up on the right. And if you're watching this 6 months from now, who knows, that may have changed. But but essentially it's its own page, and then you can grab that URL from the address bar. It'll be a long, really weird-looking thing, but just copy and paste it wherever you want. And it'll pull up the little picture, the thumbnail picture that went with the link or the photo that was attached or what have you. So you can use Google Plus everywhere because it, especially in a public setting. So definitely, if you want to bring people in, that's a fantastic way to do that. I know I do it all the time. I send people from Facebook over to Google Plus. Be like, here, this is what's going on over there, by the way. Or I'll tweet, like an event page. You can tweet the event out to Google Plus. Out to Twitter, and it'll bring people back over here to this really very vibrant page that's got a lot of unique things going on, and it's a way for people to get introduced to it, to the platform. And if they're logged in miraculously to their Google account, they could even interact right from there. So. Great stuff. That's hopefully a good tip too, just like a little thing that people can take away with. But more importantly, the CraftStar, Bethan, you guys are fantastic. You're doing an awesome job. Thanks for helping me kick off this series. I'm so excited. I couldn't have had a better guest. You guys are doing a lot of great things, and obviously, people, hopefully will we'll start paying attention as well from this show. And if you guys have any questions, I guess we'll probably wrap it up now. So if anybody has any questions, you're welcome to leave them for Bethan or myself in the event page comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, just tag one of us, please, if you're going to leave a comment so that we get the notification and can respond. Let's see what else. If you're on the blog post and reading everything that we have going on here, definitely feel free to leave a comment or reach out to either one of us, or just come check out the different things going on over at the CraftStar. And that's going to be it for our first episode of Google Plus Business Spotlight. Again, my name is Stepan. I thank you guys so much for helping me kick this off, and we will see you next week. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefan.